Have you ever felt it? That bone-deep, hollow ache when you realize the heavens have gone quiet. You've been asking for a sign. A yes. A no. Even a wait. But lately, it feels like you're shouting into an abyss, and all you hear is the echo of your own desperation. You see others stepping into their blessing season. You see the 2025 success stories flooding your screen. But you're sitting in the dark, feeling like the forgotten child at the back of the room. You're wondering if your sins finally silenced his voice, or if he's simply moved on to someone more worthy. If that is your story, if you are suffocating in the silence, I have a truth that will change everything. Silence is not God's absence. It is His workshop. He isn't ignoring you. He is insulating you. He is quieting the world so that you can finally hear the blueprint for the miracle He's building for you in 2026. This battle is not what you think it is. Today, I'm going to show you the 5 unmistakable signs that God's silence is actually the incubation period. For the greatest breakthrough of your life, we've been conditioned to believe that silence equals displeasure. We think if we can't feel the fire or hear the whisper, we must be doing something wrong. We treat God like a cosmic, 24/7 customer service line. If He doesn't answer the call within 3 rings, we assume the connection is dead. But here is the spiritual truth. We don't need more willpower. We need a change of perspective. We think we have a behavior problem. But the truth is, we have a worship problem. We started to worship the noise of God's blessings, rather than the character of God Himself. Stop drinking from the poisoned well of conditional faith. You think His silence is a punishment, but in reality, it's a protection. If He spoke too soon, you'd run toward the miracle before you were strong enough to sustain it. He is silent because He is doing a work so deep in your soil. That noise would only be a distraction. There is a divine psychology to the silent season. In science, we call it neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself. But for a new pathway to form, the old one must first stop firing. The Bible calls this the renewing of the mind. When God goes silent, He is effectively starving your old ego. He is cutting off the dopamine hits you get from external validation and easy answers. He is forcing your soul to stop relying on its survival instincts and start relying on spiritual intuition. Psychologically, you are in a liminal space, the threshold between the person you were and the miracle carrier you are becoming. The old you would have broken under the weight of a 2026 miracle. The new you is being forged in this vacuum. Why did the old way fail? Because it was built on the shifting sand of your emotions. This new way, this silent way, is being built on the bedrock of trust. How do you know if this silence is divine preparation or just bad luck? The difference is found in the subtle shifts of your soul. If you are being prepared for a 2026 miracle, look for these 5 unmistakable signs. Sign 1. The death of the familiar. The first sign is often the most painful. Things that used to bring you comfort now feel like ash. Your old friend circles, the safe job that pays the bills but starves your soul, even the way you used to pray. It all feels hollow. You might feel like you're losing your mind, or that you're becoming cynical. But this isn't depression. It's God pruning the branches. Imagine a master gardener cutting back a rose bush until it looks like nothing but a stump. To the untrained eye, It looks like a tragedy. But the gardener knows that if he doesn't cut back the good growth, the great bloom of the next season will never have enough energy to survive. God is making your world smaller right now because He is preparing to make your spirit larger. He is stripping away the distraction of the good, so you have room for the weight of the miraculous in 2026. Stop trying to revive what is dying. Let it go. The familiar is a poisoned well that can no longer quench your thirst. Sign 2. The hunger for the why instead of the what. Suddenly, you find that success is no longer enough. You don't just want a promotion. You want a calling. You don't just want a partner. You want a covenant. You are haunted by a singular, persistent question. Why am I here? This shift from wanting things to wanting meaning is the clearest signal that your 2026 miracle is spiritual in nature. When you reach this point of holy frustration, you need a map for the fog. In the silence, God often points us back to the foundations we ignored when life was loud. This is why I always recommend The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. In this season, God isn't giving you new whispers because He's waiting for you to master the blueprint He already laid out. This book acts as a 40-day spiritual recalibration. It forces you to stop looking at your life through the lens of your own ego and start seeing it through the lens of eternity. If the silence feels like a maze, this resource is the thread that leads you out. You cannot carry a miracle if you do not know the purpose behind it. Sign 3. The rising of hidden shadows. In the silence, the basement of your soul begins to groan. Old wounds you thought were healed, secret insecurities, and patterns of self-sabotage are suddenly rising to the surface. It feels like you're backsliding, but you're actually ascending. God is a master builder. He knows that if He builds a skyscraper of a miracle on a foundation of unhealed trauma, the whole thing will collapse the moment the wind blows. He is bringing your shadows into the light, not to shame you, but to scrape the impurities off the gold. This is the refiner's fire. It's hot, it's uncomfortable, and it makes you feel vulnerable. But remember, the refiner only stops the fire when he can see his own reflection in the gold. He is cleaning you out so you can be a pure vessel for the glory coming in 2026. Sign 4. The tuning of the inner ear. When the loud, booming voice of God goes silent, your spiritual hearing begins to adapt. Think of it like walking into a dark room. At first, you see nothing. But as your eyes adjust, you begin to see shapes and shadows you missed before. You start noticing divine echoes. A stranger says the exact phrase you whispered in prayer. You open a book to the perfect page. You feel a sudden tug to call someone or go somewhere. Because God has lowered the volume of the world, you are learning to hear His heartbeat instead of just His instructions. You are moving from a transactional relationship with God to an intimate one. This sensitivity is a requirement for 2026. The miracle ahead will require you to move by a whisper, not a shout. Sign 5. A supernatural calm in the midst of chaos. The final sign is the most paradoxical. Logically, your life is a mess. The 2025 goals didn't hit. The bank account is lower than it should be. The future is a giant question mark. And yet, there is a stillness in your gut. That makes no sense. Your friends are panicking for you, but you find yourself breathing deeply. This is the peace that surpasses understanding. It is the sign that your soul has finally shifted From hustle to holy rest. You've stopped trying to manhandle your destiny and have finally fallen into the arms of the Father. This calm is the anchor you will need in 2026. God is using this silence to prove to you that your peace is not dependent on your circumstances. It's dependent on His presence. If you see these signs in your life, stop trying to fix the silence. Stop trying to scream louder than God. Instead, lean into the quiet. The silence of 2025 is the foundation for the miracle of 2026. You are being refined. You are being prepared. You are being chosen for something. That requires a version of you that doesn't exist yet, but is being born right now, in the dark. Don't give up on the threshold of your breakthrough. The winter of the soul is almost over, and the spring that is coming will be more vibrant than anything you've ever imagined. If you believe that your 2026 miracle is already in motion, I want you to make a bold declaration in the comments. Comment, "I trust the silence." Let that be your prophetic yes to what God is doing behind the scenes. And if you're ready to stop wandering and start walking with purpose, hit that subscribe button and join us here at Soul Refined. We're not just building a channel, we're building a movement of people who aren't afraid of the deep. The silence is ending. The miracle is beginning. I'll see you in the next video. Stay refined.